A product review of the Wheels of Time Piggy Packer in HO scale. Bob Johnson with PK&W Railroad coming at you with another video. This time I'm reviewing the pre-assembled Wheels of Time Piggy Packer in HO scale. Now you may be wondering, Bob, what the heck are you doing reviewing a product that came out in 2014? Well, the reality is I bought two of these in 2014 and I never opened them up. I could see they were real gems. I didn't want to damage them. I didn't really need to use them right then, so I just left them in the box. I just opened them now to stage some photos with my paper container models. I was so impressed that I had to show them to you. These models are extremely detailed and very delicate. One of the two was broken when I took it out of the box. Probably because of shipping damage when I was moving around the country. I've moved twice since 2014, and while I moved these models myself in a trailer or in my truck to make sure they were handled a little more gently, one of them was damaged. But fortunately, being a freelance guy, I got one that was marked for the BNSF and one that was essentially generic, and the generic one did not break, and that's the one that I have here. Now the model is weighted, which is very convenient because it will not tip. I have a paper container in here. However, if I had a plastic container in here, this would still not tip because it is weighted. It's got a really nice heft to it. These back tires and these front tires are rubber. They're really hard rubber, which is nice. The etched metal on here, the railings are really delicate, really nice, really well done. The whole thing is very well done. Now you can see this, the carriage for the container is also extremely delicate. Now, Wheels of Time did sell a separate add-on for this, for containers only, that would be a top lift only. I didn't buy that, and it's no longer available. And most of these are sold out on the Wheels of Time website, and I'll put that on the screen here and also in the show notes. There are a few still available, and I absolutely recommend you going to get one of these while they're available. Now this, the mechanism for carrying the containers or trailers collapses inward and outward, and you only need to go out as far as 40 feet. 53-foot containers are held top lift only by the 40-foot castings, which would line up with the outside edge of these this mechanism here. So you only have to go out that far. You don't have to go any further. Now, the model as sold, it comes set up with these arms for bottom lifting of trailers. Keep in mind that this Wagner Piggy Packer that's being modeled here came out in 1969. Container traffic wasn't all that common. It's been modified to accept containers. And you can definitely carry containers from the bottom, certain containers, as I have here. These 45-foot containers, I believe, can be carried from the bottom. However, you can top carry containers in here as well. Before I pick the model up to show you something about that, I want to tell you that the interior here, it may not be completely visible on the video, but the interior is very well done. There's a very delicate steering wheel in there and a seat. God only knows how you'd get in there to install a figure. It would be nice to have a figure inside, I've got to tell you, when you put this in a diorama or on your layout. It would be nice to have a figure. The arm goes up and down. It's got a ratcheting motion, so if you get one, don't be surprised as you're adjusting it. It has a kind of a clicking sound and a clicking feel to it, but that's quite normal. In terms of details, And I'll see. I'll take the container out now, and okay, and as you can see, this is one of the drawbacks of this design. This little arm attaches on the back, these inner arms as they're called, and they don't attach very securely. They tend to fall out. There's probably no better way to do it, but they do tend to fall out. I think they're going to be more secure in the upper position, which is where they'll be when I'm carrying a top lift container. But as it is right now, on the bottom lift, they are a little loose. I really don't want to glue them in place, so they tend to fall out. One thing I'm going to try and show you here, I don't know whether my second camera is going to focus in, so I guess this is about as close as I can get, but you'll notice that there actually are little etched metal windshield wipers on the back of the cab. There are some in the front of the cab as well. Really nicely done. Now, what I want to show you underneath, these carriage pieces can be installed, taken off, and reinstalled. And what I wanted to show you was underneath here, there's a magnet. There's a magnet on each side. And so you can therefore, on a container, and I will do this in the future, on a container you can actually glue on the inside a couple of washers, and they would attach to this magnet, and then you wouldn't have to count on the arms to hold this in place. You could tuck these upper arms out of the way and not use them, and the inner arms, they have to be installed, and they're part of how a top lift container is carried, but they'd be in the upper position here, and I think they would hold on a lot better. So that's my plan anyway. So there you have it. There's my quick review of the Wheels of Time Wagner Piggy Packer model. Really exquisite detail, a really nice model. At 80 bucks, it's not cheap, but there aren't many left, and they haven't made any since 2014. I did reach out to them yesterday, haven't heard back, urging them to do another run, or better yet, do more modern equipment. But I haven't heard anything from them. Their blog has not been updated since 2018, so I have no idea whether they're still actively in business, planning on making any more models. But I sure hope they do, because this is an exciting, beautiful model, and if you're into intermodal modeling, you really need to have one of these. They were issued in N scale. I'm not an N scale guy, so we didn't look at the availability there. But as I said earlier, there's 1 or 2 liveries that are still available on their website, so you might want to check that out. I highly recommend it. Bob Johnson with PK&W Railroad signing off until next time. Keep on modeling.